loud. So now you'll see, as I've set the recording, a big box jump up on your screen. Click the word "got it." Click the word "got it," and that should clear out of the way. And so the setup you need for this class, the ideal setup is 2 chairs with their backs facing in, so that you create for yourself a little frame. You want to have decent amount of room between them so they're not jammed in right next to you. You want to have room so that you can move sideways, because we're going to do some stuff like that. And then also you need 1 more chair to
sit down in.
Sit in like this. So basically, like I'm a mirror to you, chair, and then in front of you, 2 chairs here, pretty wide, but within reach. Okay, so once you got that set up, then you're ready to go. And it's like Baljit Singh is here and her audio isn't working. Well, here we go. All right, any issues, questions? Good to see you, Greg. Tony, Janona, good to see everybody. Janona, your screen is off, which again is fine. If you're in your pajamas and don't want to be seen, that's fine. But just letting you know it's off. And James, your screen is off as well, so I can't see what you guys are doing. So again,
how do I bring that up?
Bottom left corner, it should say start video. You click that and it should jump on. Okay.
I don't see it that way.
Are you on an iPad? Baljit,
yes.
you just got your audio going. You can hear me?
I can hear you and I can see you.
Yeah, but the bottom left, are you on an iPad or a laptop?
iPad.
So then I think it's top right on an iPad. Tap the screen and you should see something that says start video. So Baljit, is this your first day here today?
Voila.
There you are, James. Good to see you. Okay. All right. Any questions before we get going? Good to go? All right. So I'm gonna mute everybody. Find your seat. So the technical hurdle, right? It's part of the challenge. Okay, so we're sitting at the front edge of your chair. Ideally, the chair you're sitting in is higher than your knees, or your hips, allows your hips to be higher than or at the level of your knees. This promotes what we're looking for in regards to the pelvic spinal relationship. Then, once we're there, just do a little moment of meditation. And as I said a moment ago at the very beginning, this is our setup. 2 chairs in front of you with the back of those chairs facing in on either side. That's going to be like our parallel bars for safety. So this is the frame, this is the playground right here. And the chair here is for you to sit back into should you want to or need to. Nasal breathing in the nose. Hold the breath. Smoothly out the mouth. Hold the breath empty. In the nose. Out the nose or the mouth. This breathing helps to loosen up the deep tension in the torso, neck, shoulders, calm the nervous system, and harness your attention, harness your mind. Okay? Now, you guys keep doing that breathing. Baljeet, I believe that's how you pronounce your name. Are you having trouble? She looks like she's having trouble. Baljeet, can you hear me? She cannot hear me. You have to turn your volume up. Let me send her a message. You guys keep doing your breathing, please. I'm just trying to take care of folks here. Okay. Okay, so we're breathing, we're sitting up tall. So the three main sort of ideas that we're working with that we've been talking about last few weeks. Zhong Zheng is a Taoist concept, means central upright. So that pillar right through the middle of you that you can feel, you can rely upon that once you've got it into good alignment. You can rely upon it. So if your posture is slouchy, if, for instance, like I look at Greg for a moment, and Greg, I see a little bit of shoulders like this, and then your head sort of drawn back like that, right? So what you want to work on is chin down, and then chest somewhat up and back, so that you got this cup of tea idea right on top of your head. Now, again, with dyskinesia and things like that, you might be moving all around, whatever, that's fine. But keep in mind the idea that there is this position where chin is slightly down, and that opens the back of the neck. We don't want to get too comfortable with our head with the chin up, because that closes this back of the neck gate, and it throws off the central line. Also, when we bring our chest up and back, we don't want to do it with a bunch of shoulder activity, which is something everybody does. Everybody does that, right? They sort of pull up and back with the shoulders. So we got to have the shoulders relaxed, but use the back muscles to bring ourselves into alignment. So meditation practice is the opportunity to do this. So when you're doing your home practice, maybe you got a cup of tea or something, and you're just sitting there breathing, you're calibrating, you're orienting to your central upright. And without that, everything else sort of falls apart. The muscles are working 10 times harder. The nervous system is working 10 times harder just to keep us upright. But when we can calibrate to this central upright, then we can practice the next idea, which is Chunwon, which means soften and relax into stability. Meaning the way by which we create a rooted, grounded, stable feeling is softening, relaxing, releasing, opening, melting, thawing, yielding. All these words that are letting go of something that you're doing now. Tensing. Everyone's tensing to some degree. And with Parkinson's, I think you got another layer to that, right? Which is the nervous system is doing stuff. But what I have found in my work with people, especially in the private, where I can really observe private work, with the breathing and the mind, there is a capacity still to drop out, to sort of clear out the debris in the nervous system and the tissue. So that's a skill, a master level skill you kind of have to learn with Parkinson's, that other people maybe get away with not learning, and they don't really know they don't have that skill until something comes along that makes them go, whoa, right? But this is the same skill that the ancient mystics and the Zen people and the yogis, it's the same skill of learning how to sort of from top down, master level control your nervous system, to tell it to regulate down, to release excess activity and tension. And to assist with that, the breathing becomes important because it helps on every level. So let's just take, and again, on your own time, it would be great if you took 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes of just breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, long duration breaths, mastery over your being, your consciousness mastering the matter, mind over matter idea, right? But here we'll just do 5, 6, 7 more breaths because we want to move to our next exercise and our next exercise and so on. So 4-part breath. We're going to take about 8 or so of them. In through the nose, all the way full. Hold the breath full. Hold. Then exhale out the nose or the mouth, all the way empty. Let it stay empty. Don't inhale right away. Then inhale again. Draw that breath in. Feel the expansion through your whole body as you pull in. Holding. Feel that full quality, that stretching open. And then feel the exhale, that gentle, say compression, but it's more like just a sinking and a releasing and a melting quality that we want. We don't want to push compression. We want to release. In through the nose. Again, nasal breathing, very important, especially on inhales. Holding, nourishing. Out the nose or mouth, this is cleansing. Cleaning out the system and releasing tension. Inhaling again. Holding. Exhaling again. Hold. 3 more just like it. So you can feel that cascade of relaxation pouring down, rippling down, and that feeling of down, sinking, that's the Chung One, or sinking into stability. And so when we start into our standing up exercises in a moment, we want to keep this softening down quality because that is how we root. I've used the example again of, as a child, they had these toys where they were a blow-up doll full of air with sand in the bottom, like a little chamber at the bottom. And you could knock that thing over, and because the sand was in the bottom, it just naturally came upright. That is how we want to be upright. But most of the time, when we stand up, we hold on with tension. So it's like we take the sand and we bring it up here, and then are curious as to why we feel like we could fall over. So we're releasing down and through all the way to the earth. To assist with that, we have our joint mobilization exercises. Let's do them together. Slide your hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, like you're cracking a walnut right between your shoulder blades. Lift your chest, lift your chin, and look up to the sky. Now the opposite of that, slide the hands forward till your arms are straight, hollow the chest back, spread your shoulder blades and drop your head so the back of that neck is totally open. Again, hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, lift the chest, look up to the sky. And then switch again, hands forward, drop the head, hollow the chest, ground. 2 more. Hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back. Each of the 24 vertebrae in your spine doing what's called extension. And then changing each of those 24 vertebrae doing what's called flexion. We want movement at every single one of those 24 joints. Hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, look up. And then hands forward, arms straight, shoulder blades spread, drop the head. And then let's come back to Zhongjang, or central upright. And then we do rotation. So you're going to slide your left hand forward, right hand back, elbow back, and turn your chest and shoulders to the right and turn your head to the right, like you're trying to look behind you. Then switch. So we turn back through center and go the other way. Right hand forward, left hand and elbow back, turn the head, look over the shoulder. Switch again. Turn and turn. So each of those 24 vertebrae moving a little bit combined together makes for a large twist. But we don't crank any one particular joint. We spread it through the whole torso, the whole spine. And we're adding some chest, shoulder, we're turning the head a little bit. All right, and this is the rotational plane of movement. One more each way. So all of this is cleaning out debris. Just kind of like wringing out a sponge or wringing out a rag. You're getting rid of something that's in there that you don't really want it to be in there. Now you're back to middle, arms hang down by your side. Shift the weight to the right buttock and lean to the right. Then your left wrist just float it up right into this little space to keep it very relaxed. But like you're spilling over to the right, and then change. And we spill over to the left. And then we change and spill over to the right. And we change and spill over to the left. Change again, spill. And again. So now same idea, except we're moving in the lateral plane, the side to side plane of movement. And we're feeling our middle pivot down kind of the middle of the belly, the navel, as this center around which we can move freely. Back to middle. Now let's get the sand out of our upper chamber here. Shoulders go up, down, up, down. Feel the separation of rib cage and shoulder blades arms. So the rib cage doesn't really move at all, but this chassis of the shoulder blades and arms slides. A lot of times this chassis is glued together. So when I'm teaching this, I say lift shoulders, people lift their chest and then lower their chest, and they think they're moving shoulders. We gotta separately slide those shoulders up, separately slide them down. So this is cleaning out sand, starch, extraneous tension that causes top heaviness, makes you feel like you might fall, okay? And then to take that one level further, we do the shoulder circles. So now your shoulders come a little forward, then lift up, then they go over the top and back and squeeze, and they stay back as they come down and they come forward underneath, and we go again. So we'll do about 5 circles from forward and up, back and down direction. And we go over this stuff a little bit more in the Friday class, because that one's more about joint mobilization than Tai Chi. This we're just kind of doing the minimal joint mobilization. Let's switch directions. Go back and up, forward and down, back and up, forward and down. Just try to feel that separateness, that separation of rib cage and shoulder blade arms, right? But they're two separate things. They're not glued together. But for most people, they are glued together, but they need to be unglued, separate. All right. And then just to help with that, bend your elbows, hands come up in front, elbows go out and up like little chicken wings, as high as you can take them. Now just hold there and feel this space, armpit, chest, shoulder. Inside there is this space that you want to be loose, right? You see how I can just move loosely, right? Feel that space. Bring elbows down, bring elbows around and squeeze the elbows together. Notice how this opens up your middle back and upper back. And then elbows come down. Let's do that again. Elbows out and up. Holding there, look for that freedom. Kind of shrug and move to loosen up the glued state there. And then down. And then wrap around in front one more time and squish, squeeze, press together the elbows. Make sure your elbows touch there, Tony, if you can help it. Get them all the way there. Good job. And then down. Now pull elbows straight behind you and squish all those muscles in the middle and upper back and back of arms and feel the opening here in your chest and that little space I was talking about, the chest, shoulder, armpit space. Then elbows down, elbows forward, possibly elbows up as your hands go down your back. So your fingers could be on your spine, on the muscles of your upper back and kind of crawling down your back. Then elbows forward, down, pull back, squish all that musculature in the middle, upper back, back of arms, feel the opening across the chest. And then switch again, elbows down, forward, up. So again, we're unpacking addition by subtraction. These movements specifically kind of squeeze the rag, squish the sponge, clean out what's stuck. Elbows down. Now, last one in this little series, elbows out to the side. Left hand higher, right hand lower. Cross, bottom hand goes under the armpit and hug your own body. Give yourself a big bear hug. Crawl your fingers around, try to squish the front of you. Notice the closing in front opens the back. And then release that and let your elbows just float out to the side. And switch. Right hand above, left hand below. Wrap. Crawl the hands, get that squishy squish feeling. Cultivating space. We're closing. Oh, so that when we open, we feel this sort of flush or flood of new, fresh space and liquid and fluid. And then release the arms down. So there's a lot more you do with joint mobilization work. We do some of it on Friday's class. There's a whole series, but we're just doing minimal here. Now, scoot a little bit back in your chair so you feel very sturdy. Legs. Lift the right knee. Flex the foot, meaning pull the toe back. And retract the leg like you're getting ready to maybe push something away. Call that chamber. Now, push. Push away, fully straighten. Then re-chamber and set that foot down. Switch. Chamber the left. So that's knee lifting and foot drawing in. Push away, all the way straight. Retract, draw that leg back in, set it down. Let's do that twice more each leg. Chamber, push, chamber, down. Chamber, push, chamber, down. One more. Chamber, push, down. Now, final thing with our legs here. Straighten, point foot, flex foot, point foot, flex. Again, we're sort of separating places in the body that have become glued together. We're finding their movable relationship. Now, with the foot, invert, evert, this little tilt, a little small tilt to the foot. And then we circle, we go tilt in, point, circle around to the outside, come back up to the starting position. In and around, and back to the start. Circle, circle, circle. Switch direction of the circle. Circle. Round. Clearing space. And switch feet. Left foot. Now we got point and we got flex. Point, flex. It loosens up the shin, the calf, the lower leg, which can be very dense and stuck. And it needs to not be in order for us to connect to the earth. Invert, evert, a little tilt in, tilt out, tilt in, out. Circle in one direction. Circle, other direction. Set the foot down. Scoot again to the front edge of your chair, and actually we're going to do one more leg thing. The minimal swivel step. So we step wider than hip distance. Lift the ball of each foot so your heel is the only thing on the ground, and then turn. You see the position that I'm in, kind of a funny looking, awkward position. Internally rotating the legs from the hips, the toes point in, the knees point in. Then it's lift the toes and turn out. So now you feel this opening of the quad, the groin space. So now we want to close that space. Turn in. Feel the closing of the quad. Then the opening of the quad or groin space. Very important in being able to move with grace, move with ease. Last one. In, out, and then back to neutral. Bring your legs back to hip distance. Hands on your thighs. We're going to fold forward from the hips, bowing. Sit back upright. Tip back from the hips, leaning back a little bit. Sometimes back your chair's in the way. No problem. Just go back as far as you can. But the most important piece is that when we fold, we are not rounding our spine and dropping our head. The spine, we're keeping Zhong-Zheng, but we're just folding and changing that Zhong-Zheng's relationship to space. Right? And there can be a little rounding to the back if it happens naturally. But the point is, when I work with people, what I notice is they've lost the mobility here. And so when they try to stand up and they lean forward, they lean from the head and the shoulders, and they never change this. Whereas all you really need to get is that tip, and all of a sudden standing, sitting, moving around in different ways, squatting becomes available to you, right? So now let's stand up and sit down. So we bring our feet back a little bit. Arms are loose, right? We loosen the shoulders, we loosen things up, so keep them loose. Fold at the hips and feel yourself pour your body weight out of the chair into your legs, and then push through the earth and come up. So remember what I said earlier about let the sand go down rather than come up and grab onto your shoulders and pull the sand up. Let it go all the way down through the floor, right? Out of the body. Now keep it out of the body and just easily fold a little bit. Let's do just this movement a couple of times. It's a very important movement. Maybe even a little bit more forward, right? See how I'm moving just from this little hip-leg relationship. And if I'm changing that, I'm changing everything about my body's relationship to gravity and to space. So notice I'm not bending my knees yet. I'm just sticking my butt back, sticking my hips forward. Now, to sit down, stick your butt back, keep your butt back, keep your arms and shoulders forward, and sink your butt down to your chair. Then, leaning or sitting back rather, let the body weight go into your chair. Notice your feet are empty, right? Now, pour your body weight out of your chair, through your legs to the earth. Now those legs are not empty. They're the conduit by which you're getting to the earth. And again, fold. So the goal here would be to have it feel like water, to move like water, to not be gripping and holding tight. One more time. Pour yourself through your legs to the earth. Push and rise. Now, don't sit in your chair, but act as if you are going to. Go all the way down, maybe you can touch your butt to the chair and then come right back up. Notice that this is the preferred and most safe and efficient way to get your hands close to the floor. So I drop my pen, I drop my glasses, I get myself near it, and let's all do it together. Imagine you've got something on the ground, you send your butt back, just like we did, arms are loose. You sit your butt like you're sitting for a chair, but now notice, oh, your hands are there. You can grab what's on the ground and then push through the ground to come back up to standing with whatever it was that you needed to get. Because a lot of times people are so stiff and frightened, they try to go down like this and they're throwing off their balance. They're reaching here instead of saying, oh, open up, sink, get what's there, come back up. So do that 3 more times on your own. Imagining you got something on the ground, you either have to put it down there or you got to go get it and bring it back up. But either way, it's the same thing. The hips go back. You sit your butt like you're going to sit in a chair. Sit real low. Make sure your knees are happy. Usually if there's knee pain, it's because you're pushing your knees forward, right? People do something funny like this, pushing, as opposed to this. Then the knees are happy, right? And we're back to standing. Now stay standing. Let's move closer to the right side chair. So now you're near the right side. Your hand can touch the chair, but for this first exercise, try to not use the chair if possible. So here we are. Arms are hanging. We're relaxed. The sand has gone down through the body to the earth, through the earth. Now we change so that we only let the weight go through the right leg. Now your left leg is not being utilized. And then change so that now it's the left leg being utilized and not the right leg. And then change so it's the right leg and not the left leg. And then change. So what's sort of the secret sauce to this is that from the belly level of your body, your lower back, your stomach, and the hips and groin, this is where the magic is, right here. When people are stuck here, they usually do things up high to try and change their body weight, and that's very inefficient, very dangerous, frankly. So from your middle, just change the weight and let it go through the right leg. Feel now this left leg so empty that you can lift the heel and get to the tip of your shoe. The very tip, if you can. Then lower that left foot down with no body weight, then change the weight. Once the right foot is empty, lift the heel off the floor, get to the very tip of the shoe, and then lower that foot back down without any weight. So what you don't want to do is just fall into the leg. You're noticing, oh, I can put the foot down without weight and then change. Other foot, again, left foot, get to the tip of the shoe, back down, change. Get to the tip of the shoe, back down, change. This is level 1. Level 1, where we're not leaving the ground so it feels safer, but we're still getting that empty and full change. Now we're going to go level 2. This is where you might need your chair for safety. It's there for you as needed. You get to the tip of the shoe and then just disconnect the foot and then place the whole foot back down, change. Again, once the right foot's empty, get to the tip of the shoe, disconnect, reconnect, change. Zhong zheng, chun one, meaning soft, sink, and stable down through one leg. Qing ling, light, nimble. Now I've got to change. I got to get chun one over here so that Qing ling is available here, that light nimbleness. And then I'm changing. Then I'm free to lift. Put it down without any weight so I'm not falling into the leg. And then changing. Now we go level 3, which is just taking that up a notch, where we try to get that knee as high as it can go. and then back down without any body weight, change. So equally as important as the lift is the lowering, because that's where you really train keeping your good posture. And then the change is important. The lift is important, and equally so, the lowering of the leg without falling into it. Change. So we're separating, right? It's the separation process of the parts so that they feel freer and free, or more free. Now, prematurely pulling, yanking the leg up is where people get in trouble. Someone will go over here and be maybe 70% 30, and then they use muscles to pull up, and the body gets thrown off balance, right? So really getting this sense of full empty, and then moving when it's empty. Eventually, you can get that change of full empty immediate. So now it's changed. Boom. And then, right? So that's when Tai Chi can be used to move swiftly around your world. But at first, you got to slow it down so you can feel those qualities of full and empty, of Qing Ling, light and nimble, and Chun Wan, sunken and stable. All right, and then our middle, we're cultivating our constant middle pivot with each thing that we do. Now, right foot in front, heel softly touching. So I'm going to turn sideways, you can see. There we are, right? Now, we're shifting into the right leg. We're moving forward in space and get to the tippy toe of your left foot. Now shift back into your left leg. Your middle is moving backwards through space, and now you're empty in your right foot. Shift. We've moved forward. We get to the tippy toe of the left foot. Shift. Now the secret sauce is that the primary direction isn't forward and backward, though you might think it is, but that's what throws us off balance. The primary direction is down. So feel that. Feel how when you're going into your right leg, if you think about down, then you arrive at that feeling we're looking for of this empty, this full, much better than if you were moving forward, where it usually takes us off our center. Same thing, when we're going backwards, primary direction is down, down through to the earth, and then down through to the earth, and then down through to the earth. And our middle is what's sort of a constant, and it's moving forward and back through space, but it's bringing everything with it. So I don't have to lean forward to walk forward. I just sit right where I am, like our meditation posture, and just down to the earth, down to the earth. And this applies whether you're walking long strides, whether you're running, jogging, right? Which you might not think you could jog, but I've worked with people to the point where all of a sudden I get them trotting around their space using this safe ability. Now, right leg empty, now we take it to level 2. So it's touching the floor. Now we actually take the empty foot and just lift it a little bit. So now float it up, use your chair to assist you, but try to find Zhongjung, Chun Wan, and Qing Ling so that this foot is in the air without grip, loose. Try to feel that. And then let's change. Put that foot down, shift into it. Primary direction's down, Chun Wan. Now like a flamingo, just bend the knee and bring that foot slightly up, right? So we're creating this position here. And just hold it. Use your chair for safety. Then lower the toe down behind you, touch the earth, and we shift back. So now we flow this level 2. So it's once the right leg is empty, lift, lower, and we shift. Primary direction down, allows you to then flamingo, toe down, shift back. Teacup, sitting on your head, don't spill a drop. That's Zhongjung. That's keeping this center. As you're shifting back in space, forward in space, really you're just floating. You're just floating in space and using these spring-loaded legs. Sort of amazing. Our legs are amazing when we use them right. So this is our level 2. Now level 3, you most probably will need your chair for safety. So hand on the chair, knee up, heel softly down, shift, primary direction down. That liberates this back leg to be able to go forward and up, reach the toe back, shift back. Primary direction is down to liberate the knee up. Teacup is still just hanging out on our head. We're stillness inside, like we're just a floating meditation posture. So the same meditation posture or feeling that we had sitting at the beginning, eventually that's how it feels inside, even while you're moving around your space. But you gotta relax. It's hard to do, but over time it does happen, soft and loose. All right, now we're going to change sides. So bring your right foot next to your left foot. Change the weight to your right leg, sidestep, and shift over to your other chair. Now, level 1. So we empty the left foot, put it out in front of you, the heel softly touching. All right, so notice too, I didn't put it way out here. It's just right in front. Now, that's not to say that when I'm walking, I couldn't take big strides that I, if I'm walking around, I can take much larger strides. But initially, you got to train in comfort. So be as small of a stance as feels comfortable. Change the weight down to the earth and get to 0. Get to empty in that back foot, light. Change again, shift down through the back leg or right leg, and now you're empty in your left. And then change again. Get good at feeling this. It's like 2 ends of a scale, one full, one empty. And then you got to change. And then change. Your middle is just floating, your teacup, top of the head. Change. Change. Let's go level 2. Use your hand on the chair as needed. Lift that empty leg. Just hold it there for a moment. It's a little test. Just a test. How's your teacup? Do you feel full, empty? Or is it 2 stiff legs being held onto for dear life? Or is one of them light, empty, loose? And then let's change. We set that foot down. Shift. Flamingo. So just a simple bend of the knee. Just stay empty, full. Jung, teacup, relax. Put the toe down, no body weight, but you found the floor, and then we shift. Then this leg from the hips, straight leg lift, softly the heel touches, change the weight. Back leg, bend the knee, toe down, change. So this empty, full, then movement becomes available. Change, make the empty full differentiation, then a safe freedom in that foot is available. Change, lift lower, change, bend. 2 more, level 2. Primary direction is down, which creates the freedom for the up. Most of the times we focus too much on the up leg instead of realizing, oh, it's about how well did I go down that I can go up. Same thing here. How well did I go down? Then I can move this foot. Level 3, same rules, just added challenge. Knee up, heel softly down, change. Knee forward and up, toe back, no body weight. Change. Left knee up, down, change. Wait for it to be empty. Then it stays empty all the way to the knee lift and all the way to the toe back, still empty. Then change. Make sure you're letting your arms hang. Let those arms hang. Otherwise, we get grippy, we hold, we grab, loosen. The down allows the up. The down allows the up. All right. And face the middle. Now, if you're set up like me, that's how I'm assuming you're set up. So don't do anything. I'm just moving my chair so I can change something. Now, we are all right here. Move to the left side of your space and then turn and face across so that you got as much of a runway in front of you, and your chair should be on your left. That is giving you some support if you need it. Now we're going to walk 3, 4, 5, 6 steps that way and then walk backwards the same amount. Change your weight to your right leg, left foot out in front, heel touching lightly. Now, shift. Primary direction is down. Once that right foot is actually empty, you can just easily step. And then shift. Wait for the left foot to actually be empty. Step it while it's still empty. Shift. Primary direction down. Step the foot while it's empty, and it must remain empty after you step it. Then shift. Step, shift. Now, going backwards when you're ready, we're going backwards. Careful. Shift. Now that front foot is empty, bring it behind you and find the floor with your toe, no body weight, and then shift into it. Remember where the primary direction is. Down. Step the empty foot back, doesn't have to be far. Down. So better for you to not look at the screen when you're doing this, right? So just look in front of you. Once you understand the exercise, where we're just stepping, shifting. Step an empty foot, shift. Step an empty foot, shift. Step empty, shift. Let's go forward again. Shift, wait for the foot to be empty, step it because it's empty. It can step. Shift and step. Shift and step. When you're ready to go backwards. Backwards is always scarier. It's always a little more dangerous, right? So you just go nice and easy. But think primary direction is down. Your middle, your belly button level of your body is your middle. That's your center. Now, level 2, shift. The empty foot now has to step up and over something. Be very careful. Shift again. That back foot is empty. He's got to step over something. Shift. So now it's disconnecting from the floor a little bit or more. Shift. Step. Shift, step, shift. If that's too much, just go back to level 1. Now, especially going backwards, this can be a little tricky. The foot has to come up in front, knee bend, reach back, find the floor, shift. Make sure the other foot's empty, lift in front, bend the knee, reach it back, shift. Keep your teacup, keep your jung, your central upright. And primary direction down, down. All right. Turn and face, once you get all the way to the left side of your space, turn and face forward again. Change the weight to your left leg, right leg is empty. Step it out to the right, but don't put any weight in it, right? So you can see with my body, my foot is going there, but that's very different than my body and my foot, right? We don't want to do what I'm doing here. We do want to do this. Out, in. Continue that. Out, in. So we're stabilizing where we are, staying connected here, and using the freedom of the emptiness to move that foot, right? Now, step the right foot out, leave it there. Change leg. So now right leg full, left end. Change back. Left leg full, right end. So this real estate, this foie, belly, low back, right? I was talking about that at the beginning. It's the jammed up quality here that makes us not be able to utilize this liquid, fluid, Tai Chi body. So as we do practices like we're doing, that's what we're unburdening. We're thawing it out, we're loosening that up, finding interior real estate. Now go into your right leg, stay there, left foot is empty, bring it in and out. Don't change the weight. In, out. So the weight is through your right leg, and your left foot is empty and it's stepping out, stepping in, stepping out, stepping in. One more time, in, keep them touching, in. Now, change the weight to your left leg, hover there, and then change the weight to your right leg. Now this forces you to find the quad and the lumbar spine and belly freedom. The closer your feet are touching if you can, so that you get this internal mechanism of weight change to loosen up, right? Because the stiffer the body, we can't move, but inside we need to have these gears. It's like these gears that rotate and roll have to be loosened up. Now stay in your left leg, right foot steps out, no body weight. Change. Once your left foot is empty, bring it in, still no body weight, and then change. So now you're gone down to the left, the right foot's empty so it can step. Change. Left foot is empty so it can step in. Change. My teacup still doing just fine as I move across the room, sidestep. Once you get to your end, go the other way. Out, shift. Basic mantra. Shift without stepping, step without shifting. Shift without stepping, step without just falling into that foot. And then shift, step, shift, step, shift, step. Loose. Easy. Another saying in Tai Chi, upper body empty, lower body full. That's stability. Allow for that. Allow this connecting down. It can sort of feel heavy to release that, but over time it does what we want it to do. Let's go there and back again. So top empty, bottom full. That's only the first stage though, because eventually once you allow everything to go through out of the body, then even your legs feel somewhat empty. Right? But at first we have to let them sort of be this full, sturdy connection to the earth, and then get the mechanism of empty, full, empty, full, empty, full, and get that engine revved up again. Right? Because a lot of people are stuck, and you see this, moving, stiff, right? So you can see I'm mimicking it. It looks a little humorous, but you can see there's qualities of that probably in some of your bodies and in people that you've seen move versus this loose, live, changeable, morphing, transforming, loose quality. And that's where the Tai Chi practice we do on Friday loosens and connects everything, right? It has more artfulness to it. It's like infrastructural movement. Okay, and finally, come to the space between your chairs, right? So you got your chairs on left and right. Right leg empty, left leg full. Turn your right foot out, shift into your right leg, turn your body 45 degrees to the right, or 90 degrees, I guess, and bring the left foot to match the right foot. So we've done a quarter turn in space. We're going to do another quarter turn, again, to your right. So we're going around in a circle. Empty your right foot, turn it out 90 degrees or so, shift into that right leg, and now you should be facing away from your screen, away from the camera. Then your right foot, empty it again, turn it out 90 degrees, and then shift and bring the left foot to match it. Once again, empty your right foot. Turn the right foot out 90 or so. Shift. We're going to go around again. So work on all the skills. Primary direction, down. Down through the left leg, liberates the right foot so it can turn out without any weighting. And then primary direction, down through the right leg. That's what keeps us centered as you bring left foot to match. Empty the right foot, turn it out. Change into the right leg, bring the left foot to match. Empty the right foot, turn it out. Change. Softening and softening more and more so that each repetition is melting out this extraneous effort. Go around a third time. The Taoists call Li, L-I, clumsy, tension-based strength, as opposed to Sung, which is this feeling that hopefully you've gotten a little bit of a taste of softening down to the earth and how that liberates you to move, and then softening down, and that frees the other foot, and then softening down. So it's soft, but it's not sloppy. It's precise, right? Now we're going to go the other way. Once you get around, then it's left foot empty, turn it out 90 degrees. Change the weight. Bring the right foot. Change the weight. Left foot empty, turning it out. Right foot full, left empty, turns out. Shift, primary direction, down, 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 down. Because what gets people in trouble with rotation is yanking the body around in a rotation, not thinking about down. That's when people kind of spin out of control. I've seen it many times. So it's this down, and then again down, and then again down, down. That frees us up and keeps us in our middle, keeps us centered, right? And back to facing forward. And we'll close. Hands come together. Rub your palms. Rub the back of one hand. Rub the palms. Rub the back of that hand. Other hand. Palms. Now, your open palms go right on your groin, quad. Up and down in that space there that tends to get congested, compressed, sort of glued together and stuck. And so we're walking around stiff. We want openness, we want to feel that open quality. Then rub the hip flexors, this important area. Here's your thigh, all the way at the top of the thigh before you get up onto your pelvis, just below that. Hip flexors. This is an area that usually has a lot of problems for folks, and they may not know it, right? From sitting too much, it pulls the hips out of position and throws them off. Then we come around the hips to the back. Another important area, the tailbone, sacrum, up and down, right on that area. That's an area that's often poking up, right? Like I'm exaggerating right now, but this is how a lot of people are. Jammed back, too tight here, right? So we want to promote sacrum down, down and open and loose. Then we want to get up on what's called the midmen, that lumbar. This is like our pivot point when we're turning, when we're changing. This is an important level. It's called the gait of life. So we're rubbing that gait of life. Now, the outside of the legs, we sweep down. As we do that, sit the butt back like you're going to sit down in your chair. Hands go down the outside of the legs, around to the inside. Now the yin channels, we come up the inside, past the groin, all the way to the navel, to the belly button. So hands on your belly button. Then let's do that again. Qua, groin, hip flexors, the front of the hip at the top of the leg. Sacrum, tailbone, an area that gets congested quite often. Up onto your lumbar, your lower back section. Up. Then hands sweeping down the outside. Sit your butt back, sit your butt low, get down there, and then sweep the hands around. Come up the inseam, past the groin to your middle. One more time. Hua. Hip flexors. Sacrum. Lumbar. Yang channels. Yin channels. And then the final reset coming up the outside of the arm, over the shoulder, then turn that palm up and come down the inside off the fingertips. And we're going to repeat on the same arm. Turn that hand down again, come up the outer portion or yang channels onto the shoulder, turn the palm up, sweep. Up the outside, down. Up and down, up and down, up, down, up, down, up, outside, down, inside, up, outside, down, inside. Switch arms. Up, over the shoulder, turn that palm up, down the inside off the fingers. Up the outside, down the inside. Yang channel, yin channel, yang, yin. Shoot, shoot, shoot. James, yeah, there you go, James. Good job. There you go. Good. All right. And closing wings, roll up over the top, settle all the way down. This is what's called shogun, or closing gesture. Palms face the body, backs of hands face out. And Maureen, notice you don't want to have this feeling in this thing. Soft, loose, right? So kind of that like free chicken wing feeling. And yet we've still got some precision all the way to the tips of the fingers. It's called middle embrace. This is a standing meditation that guides our life force to our middle reservoir, according to the Chinese medicine folk. And then we seal the practice, take the center palm right on top of your navel, and then take the other center palm on the back of the center of the other hand. So we stack, and it's sort of like a sealing in and finishing and closing. Let's take 3 long, smooth breaths right here. In the nose, out the nose or the mouth. And then the closing mudra. One hand, other hand, softly clasped fist. Then that top hand just folds over. That creates a little sort of yin-yang looking symbol, right? Of those polar energies sort of interacting. So that's why this is kind of a fun little closing mudra, is it represents yin and yang and how they turn into each other and polar opposites interact dynamically. So close and bow. All righty, find your comfortable seat. If there are any thoughts, epiphanies, insights, questions, I'd love to hear them. And also just remember, PD Active pays me, and what they're hoping for is that people are donating to them over time throughout the year, and we kind of keep the ball rolling. So PD Active takes care of me, and hopefully you guys enjoy what you're getting, and that's their hope. So we're supposed to tell you that each time. So thank you, everybody. Well done. Any questions?